Let me be clear with you. Leadership, it doesn't start at work. It doesn't start with money. It doesn't start with a title. Leadership, it actually starts at home. And if you've ever thought, I never had a real example, I'm figuring this out as I go. I want to lead, but I don't want to mess this up. Just stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how strong men lead their homes without control, fear, or perfection. But guess this, there's a cost if you don't learn this. A man with strength but no peace becomes dangerous. A man with peace but no direction becomes passive. But a man with peace and clarity, he becomes a leader. Even if no one ever showed him how. Because me, I didn't grow up with a roadmap. I had to learn this the hard way. And when I stopped trying to control everything and started leading with clarity, my home changed. And guess what? It changed before my income ever really did. Most men, they were never taught how to lead a home. We were taught how to survive, how to grind. We were taught how to provide. But no one sat us down and said, this is how you create emotional safety. This is how you set the tone. This is how you lead without becoming what hurts you. So if you're learning this later in life, you're not behind. You're actually early. You're early in your awakening, and you're right on course of your journey. Now, I really want you to stay with me, because this is where most men misunderstand leadership. And misunderstanding leadership, this costs families years. Here's the truth that most men miss. Leadership at home, it's not control. Leadership at home, it's emotional regulation. It's clarity. And it's direction. Your family, they don't need you to be perfect. They don't need perfection from you. They don't need dominance. They need stability that they can actually feel. And that starts with you. Because before you ever lead a home, you're literally already leading the emotional environment inside of your own body. So I got some steps for you that I want you to really try and I want you to put in play. Step 1, lead yourself first. If you can't regulate yourself, you can't regulate a household. Peace precedes leadership. If you walk in reactive, stressed, checked out, the house, it's going to absorb that. So some actions is, before you engage with your family, regulate your body, lower your tone, slow your breathing, ground your presence. Because leadership, it starts internally. But regulation is just the foundation. Once you're calm, the next question becomes, what am I setting in motion when I walk into this home, when I enter this front door? Ask yourself that. Step 2, set the emotional standard. The emotional tone of the house, it follows the man. If you're calm, the house is calm. If you're chaotic, the house is anxious. This isn't pressure, it's power. Some actions. I want you to ask yourself this daily. What energy am I bringing into this home tonight? Because once you set the emotional tone, everything that you say, it carries that tone within it. If you speak from calm, your words, it creates safety. If you speak from tension, your words creates resistance. That's why leadership, it rises or falls, not on what you say, but how you say it. Step 3, communicate with clarity, not control. Leadership, it isn't barking orders. It's not silence. It's not intimidation. Control creates fear. Clarity creates trust. I want you to say what matters. Say it calmly. Say it clearly. Say it consistently. Predictability, it builds safety. And that's what they need. That's what your family needs. If this feels uncomfortable to you, good. Because growth always is. It's always uncomfortable. And if this is uncomfortable, it's because leadership, it requires ownership, not withdrawal. Step 4, I want you to take responsibility without martyrdom. Leadership, it's not suffering in silence. It's solving problems with your family, not for them. You don't disappear. You don't dominate. What you need to do is, and what you're going to do is, you're going to engage. This next part is what separates involved fathers from leaders. So please, 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 please do not miss the next step. Step 5, create vision for your home. Homes without vision, they drift away. Strong leaders ask, what are we building together? What kind of home are we creating? Define what your home stands for. Peace, respect, growth. That's leadership with direction. If you remember one thing from this entire video, I want you to make it this. The day your family feels safe, the day they feel safe in your presence, not perfect, not rich, not loud, just consistent. That's when trust deepens. That's when leadership, it actually becomes natural. There was a time when I thought leadership, leadership meant pressure. I was providing, but I was disconnected. I was present, but I wasn't grounded. The shift, it happened when I stopped trying to be right and I started trying to be regulated. Everything changed after that. Communication, it improved. Stress, it dropped. And the trust, it grew. Not because I became louder, not because I became steadier. We're about to bring this all together for you. So I want you to stay with me, because this part that I'm about to mention next, this changes how you see yourself. Lead yourself first. I need you to set the emotional standard. Communicate with clarity. Take responsibility without martyrdom. Create a vision. If you do that and your home changes, you're on the right track. Leadership doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. Your past doesn't disqualify you. Your lack of examples, it doesn't disqualify who you are. Your mistakes, they don't disqualify you. They prepare you. Your family doesn't need a superhero. They need a man who's awake, who's engaged, and who's willing to lead. So if this stirs something in you, not guilt, but responsibility, subscribe. Because next, we're talking about the cost. We're talking about the total cost of staying the same, and why comfort, it can be more dangerous than failure. Later.